Faithletic, the podcast, live on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. I'm Coach, and I'm with
Casey.
And we are
Faithletic, the podcast.
And we are here without the gunslinger, but we are on our new station, our new Bat channel, our new Bat station. We are on YouTube Live, and this is only our second week on YouTube after 4.5 years. Of different formats.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
sure.
With me.
For sure. But
Actually, it's been longer than that. I started this in October of 2017. So almost over 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we started...
You and I have been maybe 3.5, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, it was about a year and a half after I moved here, so...
It was on Crossover Radio, still friend of the show. We just... and then you and I kind of branched off and started Faithletic.
Yeah.
And for those joining,
we look really good on our screen. I just wanted to say,
thank you. That's a pretty good setup.
Man, great setup.
Yeah. We got a new little kind of backgrounds. I'm still playing around, and experimenting with stuff, and it looks a little bit more professional than it has in the past.
Legit.
We do look pretty good.
I would. Say
I don't know what Gunslinger's going to do this whole thing here. But.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, we'll still have a split screen like this, so this looks good.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. We look darn good.
Yeah. So anyway, kind of give people a little bit of background on us, and just give those people listening to us for the first time our background. The title of the show, or the name of the show, is Faithletic, the podcast. We are a little bit of faith and a little bit of sports, and we throw in some entertainment now and then, and we talk about movies, and we talk about professional wrestling, and we talk about TV shows, and music, and people, and
we do
places.
We do all these things.
We have a lot of variety here.
And we have fun. We do have fun. We have a lot of fun.
We are not professional DJs or commentators or former professional athletes. Well, you weren't.
No.
I'm just kidding.
We do. I like to call this sports therapy.
Sports therapy. I like that.
We just like to spend once a week together and forget about what the outside world is. So we don't talk a lot about, unless it kind of bleeds in, or
we'll try to stay away from politics.
We stay away from politics, stay away from news, and some of the drama that
comes with it.
The worldwide leader in sports tries to draw to weave into.
They overdo it.
They do. I would contend that they've become sports Fox News or sports CNN. Either way, it's just talking heads all the time, and let's try to, I don't know. So we try to avoid that. We got. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Why'd you bring that
up? Because I just felt like
the world should know.
Yes. Which we'll talk about it in a second. I'm incredibly nervous for Sunday, but it's going to be okay.
You should be.
Yeah.
Would you be if Patrick was healthy?
I'd be the way that Cincinnati's talking.
Yeah.
I'd watch out.
Yeah, they are kind of smacking around a little bit, aren't they? They've been smacking.
They called Arrowhead Burrowhead. I'm like, congratulations, you beat us one time at home, and you're going to call it Burrowhead in a regular season. So
I'm probably going to hate Joe Burrow in 5 years. Right now, I kind of like him.
I like Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I like all three of those guys. I like Burrow, Allen, and obviously Mahomes. But
and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Prince.
You start to kind of. That was pretty classy of him to wait in the tunnel.
Yeah, I thought so. I actually like Trevor Lawrence, and I
liked him in college a lot.
So Nick Wright, who's on Fox Sports, I don't know if you watch any of him, but I follow him. He's a diehard Chiefs fan too, and so he's really open. Like, he's definitely a pundit that he's pretty open about his fanhood. And so he's been he's been banging the drum for Trevor Lawrence pretty much his whole career, that, hey, just watch, he's going to arrive someday. And he calls Trevor Lawrence the Prince, and he calls Patrick Mahomes the King. So that's, the heir to his throne. So anyway, Trevor looked, he didn't look bad against the Chiefs. In fact, it was one of those. I'm like, why didn't they? They should have been more aggressive. But yeah, we can talk more about that game specifically later because we have
our picks
and all of that.
Well, I mean, we certainly. I mean, obviously, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
so
and really, I was just getting there to our friends that since I wasn't here last week,
right?
Really, just share what I am. So, but yeah, I guess you're right. Though there may not be a better time than the present to talk about our team, but
yeah, we can do that. I mean, we don't have a format here on this show. Those
will
find out. We are not scripted by any means.
We're chilling.
We kind of sometimes have a meeting before the meeting to say, hey, we're talking about this today. But a lot of times we're like 5 minutes before, what are we talking about today?
We didn't even do that today. We're like, hey, we're going to talk about this.
We're talking about life in general. And
probably because we probably have lots of feelings loaded up, ready to go about our teams. Because I think we feel probably a little bit opposite about our teams at the present moment.
Let's look at our predict. Let's it's a good time to play any.
I think this is great. I would love to look back at what our
back at what we talked about earlier in the season and then our mid-season because I have it all here. I kept notes.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So here are all of our. I think we were consensus for the most part. You may have not been. No, you were not. I'm sorry. No, you were. I don't know. I remember we didn't rank them 1 through. Anyway, our 7 playoff teams in the AFC were the Bills, the Bengals, the Titans. You know what? That wasn't the consensus. We all had the Bills.
Okay.
We all had the Chiefs. I had Tennessee, which they didn't make it.
No.
Well, I'll just tell you what I had. I had Buffalo, Cincinnati, Tennessee, Kansas City, Indy, Las Vegas, San Diego. Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 teams.
4 teams.
4 out of 8. You had Bills, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Indy, Chargers, Denver, Miami. You got Bills, 5. Chiefs. Yep, you got 5. Gunslinger, who's not with us today, Buffalo, Baltimore, Indy, KC, Chargers, Vegas, New England. So he had 4. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe 3.
He had 3. So those are the 3. In the NFC AFC Championship game, I had Arizona against the Rams.
Conspiracy theory, though. That needs to be prefaced. That was a conspiracy theory.
Wait, we didn't talk about the NFC. So NFC, I had Philly, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Arizona, San Francisco, LA Rams, Dallas. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 out of the 7.
Okay.
You had Dallas, Rams, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, San Francisco, Arizona. You had 1, 2, 3,
5.
4, 5. No, 4. Dallas, Minnesota. You had 4. Dallas, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, San Francisco.
And what were the other 3 that I said?
You missed Green Bay, the Rams, and Arizona.
Oh, I thought Green Bay. Yeah. But I thought Green Bay got.
They didn't get in.
Nope, they were close, but.
And then Gunslinger had Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Arizona, the Rams, and New Orleans. He had Dallas, Tampa Bay. So he had 3. He had 3 out of the.
So he got 6 out of 14.
Yes.
I got 9 out of the 14.
Yeah.
And then what?
I had 4 and 3, 7.
7 out of the 14.
I had half.
Okay.
So my NFC title game, Arizona against the Rams, and I had Arizona in the Super Bowl, obviously.
Because you thought
I got the AFC.
You thought the NFL, the fix was in for the home team getting the Super Bowl.
I was wrong. And I will admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Buffalo against Cincinnati, so I got half of it right for the AFC.
Sure.
And I had I don't have anybody in the Super Bowl. Arizona against Buffalo.
Okay.
You had Dallas against Green Bay.
And I had Green Bay winning.
You had Green Bay winning, and you had Kansas City against Buffalo, and you had Kansas City winning. So you still have 1 team left.
Yeah, the Chiefs, of course.
Chiefs. Gunslinger had Green Bay against Tampa Bay.
No.
And he had Buffalo against Kansas City. He had Kansas City against the 49ers. Oh, he changed it. Wait a minute. How did he do that?
Are you looking at our midseason stuff?
No. This is the first. This is beginning of the season.
Okay.
So Kansas City against. He must have changed it. No, he's got Green Bay. So he's got Kansas City against Green Bay.
Okay.
In the Super Bowl. So he's got one still left. So you both have one still left winning the Super Bowl, and I didn't have anybody. So midseason. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now this is how it ranked mid-season in the AFC based off our predictions. Kansas City in the AFC was Kansas City, Miami, Tennessee, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati, New York Jets. That was the way it was ranked mid-season. Well, on November 30th.
Sure.
NFC, Philly, Minnesota, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Dallas, New York, and Washington. So the only team that didn't make the playoffs there was Washington. So in the AFC, Tennessee?
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe, yeah.
Tennessee, Baltimore, and the Jets. So 3 teams did not make the 7 that were in the top 7.
Yeah, and those where we kind of fought a little bit with each other. A little, not actually, but we went back and forth because we decided it was a American Idol type where 2 out of 3 had to pick it. So,
and I think this was our consensus. It was going to be Cincinnati against Buffalo against Kansas City. Buffalo against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, and then Philly against San Francisco.
Hey, look at us go!
And then Philly and Kansas City and Philly in the Super Bowl.
Oh gosh, I don't.
That was our consensus.
I don't know. So, one of my best friend at school right now, who's our math teacher and coach, is a diehard Philly fan. So I don't want to go head to head with him. I don't. And I don't know that we will. Honestly, I'm interested to see how this game will go. Like, my feelings this week are I'm always anxious, especially for the AFC title game, which I've been able to do 5 years in a row, which is just insane. And to win 2 out of the previous 4, I'm just afraid of what the legacy will do unless we start winning these. Like, I hate we're not going to be the Buffalo Bills because we actually have won a Super Bowl.
That's true.
Like, if the Bills have won one of those 4, like, they're still probably seen as one of the best teams. But if we want to own the decade like, the Patriots did in the 2010s and 2000s, and the Cowboys did in the 90s, and the Niners did in the 80s. If we wanted to own a decade, I still think that we have, but to really truly own it,
you need another Super Bowl.
We need a Super Bowl. Yeah. We need to win. And what's crazy is that we have the most. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for us, and I think that's what people need to realize, that this is a little bit scary. How we've made it to the AFC Championship game. It's just ho-hum at this point.
Yeah.
I really try not to take it for granted. Yeah. Because it
never lasts.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't ever last.
No, it doesn't last.
Take it from somebody who knows.
Who knows and feels it, right? So
gut punch.
I don't want I have this weird emotion of like I feel like spoiled but also like humbled at the same time. Like, we sound good. Anyway.
So I was trying to think back in well before your day, and Cowboys were in the 70 NFC Championship game, which was the first one, by the way.
Sure.
Because before that was NFL, AFL. They were in the second one. They were in the third one. Or I say third one. They were 3 in a row. So they were in 70, 71, 72, 73 NFC Championship game. They missed 74. They were back in it in 75, 76, 77, 78. All those years they were in NFC Championship game. They made the Super Bowl 4 of those.
It's just...
So 70,
and then
71,
your
72,
90s
73,
teams.
75, 76, 77, 78. So there's 9 seasons they were in the NFC Championship games 7 times, and they won Super Bowl 4 of those.
It's crazy, and they won 2, right?
2.
Yeah.
70.
So like that's what I'm thinking.
That's a dynasty.
Like,
now, well, you're dealing with the Steelers, but the Steelers won as many AFC Championship games as the Cowboys.
So the Chiefs are in that kind of rare air, though. If they win,
they are.
They kind of already there anyway.
Especially if they win another one.
And I think like I said, I think them rebuilding this year, getting away to Tyreek Hill, they have top 10 amount of resources going into the offseason as far as money goes. We really see that Patrick Mahomes' contract is more team friendly. Looking back on it now, because Burrow's going to probably get paid $500 million, like
whatever he wants,
guaranteed,
whatever he wants.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is like, and so all of that to be said, it's a weird feeling to like sit back here and say, I'm happy where we're at right now, because I'm nervous. If I'm honest with you, I'm nervous about Patrick Mahomes' ankle.
I would be too.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm trying to talk myself into we're not going to win this weekend, and is it okay if we don't win? You know,
of course not.
Right. So you're like,
it's never okay.
It's never okay.
If the minute you say it's okay, Colin, you and I got to talk.
Yeah, right, exactly. Or how am I going to feel? Right.
Yeah.
Can I justify losing in the AFC Championship game? And the only way I can justify is like Patrick's not healthy. So I don't know. I have this self-talk.
You already got your
this
excuse
is
built in.
Literally my sports therapy right now, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be okay if we lose.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm still happy with where we're at.
You had a
this
good run,
year.
and you look. He's young enough. What is he? Just
26.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
But
I don't want him to go the way of Russell Wilson. That's what I'm afraid of. It's like
win one and
you win one. He should, and Russ should have probably won 2. Like, if
probably
they decide to run Marshawn Lynch up the middle, that's all you got to do.
You know me, my warm and fuzzies for
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. So couldn't have a nicer guy.
My guy is, I love Marshawn Lynch, so I really wish that he would, have won one more.
Well, if they'd given him the ball there, they would have.
I know.
Trying to get
watched that clip today.
Yeah, trying to get too cute.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Yep.
That's. So can we talk about my Cowboys for a second?
Do you want to?
Nah, I think I have to. I need to. I need therapy.
Yeah. I just
exactly
thought
like I thought it would.
I just thought the end of the game was one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. But before that, go into it.
Well, it's hard for me to do because I elected not to watch most of it because I had already made my mind up what was going to happen. I watched the first 2 series.
Sure.
I said, I already know. I just have this sense.
You just felt it?
I have this sense. Yep. You've been around me, you know that I'm usually right most of the time.
You have Spidey sense or
something.
Jerry sense. I don't know what we call it.
And I'm thankfully I'm kind of glad I didn't watch it because I've read some information, and look, I'm not blaming anything on referees, but I did hear that some of the non-calls were evident, but again, I didn't see it, so I'm glad I didn't. That's not an excuse. So the bottom line is, and will always be the bottom line, there's 2 main factors that, the NFL conspiracy theorist thing, call it what you want, did not play a factor in this game.
It didn't.
But what did play a factor in this game is the same thing that always plays a factor in big games, is Dak Prescott's inability to step up in big-time games. Last week was irrelevant because we all know that Brady is probably at the tail end of his career. We all knew that Tampa Bay wasn't any good, and he should have won that game by 3 touchdowns, and he did against Tampa Bay. So I don't count that as a relevant game. He needed to go on the road. He needed to come from behind, or he needed not to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't have to come from behind. If you make mistakes, you have to come from behind.
Sure, yeah.
And he does not have the ability to come from behind. He had 2 opportunities to do it and make himself a hero, and as he always does, he falters. He fails. He makes stupid decisions. He hangs onto the ball too long. He eats up time on the clock.
He's the anti-Patrick Mahomes.
He doesn't understand the game at all. And the worst part about it is neither does his coach. And the difference between, and I get so irritated. I have a friend of mine who's this, he's better than Romo was. No, he's not.
No.
Because Romo would have won that game. Romo is smart enough as a field general to know how to work the game management part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak has no idea how to do that.
Right.
None. Zero. I mean, he just how can a guy like Brock Purdy?
Well,
I understand the people around you, and I get that.
There's your answer is you brought up McCarthy.
Yep.
Is that McCarthy's no Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like Kyle Shanahan.
But you still have to make decisions on the field in the time of crisis.
Right.
And that's what that's what drives me nuts about him. It's like it's like a deer in headlight. Look, I know that how would you say of all the quarterbacks in NFL, how many play above their heads when they're under pressure? How many?
6.
So 6 out of 32. What is that? 25%? Not even that much. 20%.
Yeah, sure.
20%. I get that. But the only time that Dak ever does anything worth a flip is when he doesn't have pressure.
No,
there's no pressure on him.
You're right about that.
And then when he does have wide open receivers, he has great receivers that go up and catch balls that shouldn't have been caught.
Yeah.
That pass that he threw to Lamb there?
Yeah, that was
CeeDee Lamb.
That was a bad one.
Horrible pass.
That was on. Well,
it's pass interference, but it wasn't that great.
But he that's
he
one of those
underthrew it.
But he should have had it.
He underthrew it. That pass was underthrown.
Sure. Wait, which
Most
one are you talking about? The one that he went back and caught?
The one that CeeDee Lamb caught on the pass interference
play. But that was also that one in particular.
Yeah.
That one in particular was thrown the way that he should have.
Maybe.
Because that's what Kirk Cousins
was designed that way.
Yeah,
maybe
it was designed that way. It was.
But
that said, that was an incredible catch. The one that I was thinking is the one that went just through CeeDee's hands.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It was towards the end of the game.
That was CeeDee. Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, that one. I
did see
CeeDee.
The final 2 drives. By the way.
So there's a couple that was like, okay, CeeDee, what are you doing?
But,
so he's not getting any help.
But he wasn't managing the game at all.
Losing Pollard does stink.
That doesn't help. Yeah, and that's another one of those goofy things that I talk about that happens to the Cowboys at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You have an unfortunate injury. You have a penalty that was questionable. You have a catch that was overruled. Those are factors that go into the Cowboy curse, or call it whatever you want to. But KC, 27 years in a row. 27 years in a row.
You just
they're 0-7 in playoff games past the divisional round.
I know, and I think
0-7.
I think that's the thing. Is like there really is a thing that there's got to get the monkey off your back, because the Chiefs were the same thing though.
Yeah,
if you remember,
they did. I agree.
I mean, no, they weren't in the playoffs as consistently as the Cowboys were.
Kind of in the last 27 years they have been.
Actually,
How many times have they been in the playoffs? Because they have only made like 12 playoff appearances in 27 years.
But the Chiefs' problem was too is like up until Patrick Mahomes, it was. I mean, okay, we've won
Montana. You won the AFC Championship game.
But okay, so after that, right?
Yeah.
It was a series of either first round, or it was either first or second round exits. We could never win the second game.
Missed field goals.
Even the one there was the Marcus Mariota game where he came out of nowhere. We had Andrew Luck come back and beat us by 35-point comeback or whatever. But all that said, it just I get the frustration there.
It's just and then what even it's the history and frustration as well. But as a Cowboys fan, you really don't have hope for the future, because you're not gonna get rid of this quarterback cap or quarterback and running back that's taking up 50% of your salary cap, and you're not going to let go of a coach that's inadequate.
No.
And so there's absolutely no hope. There's only 3 things that can happen, in my opinion, that fixes this whole thing. You want to hear them?
Sure.
Mike McCarthy gets fired and they hire Sean Payton. Number one. Number one thing has to happen.
Okay.
Number 2 thing has to happen. They have to go release Dak.
So you're saying just cut bait right now?
Right now.
Okay.
Number 3 thing that needs to happen. They need to cut Ezekiel.
They need to get rid of Zeke, and there has to be a realization that Zeke was not the guy. That he was
he's not now. He's not now.
But even so, it's like you wasted a 4th round draft pick on a running back, or 4th pick of the draft on a running back.
He served his purpose for the first 2-3 years.
Sure, but still, so is Isaiah Pacheco, who's a 7th round pick. You know,
well, you can get a draft pick to do exactly what he's doing now.
And running back,
and you can also use Cooper Rush that won't throw interceptions and get you a quarterback and build from that.
Maybe it was acceptable 6 years ago when he was drafted, or 5 years ago, to grab somebody that had. Because Saquon is the same thing, but look at what when Saquon has been healthy. He's been a top 5 running back. You can't say that about Zeke.
Not in the last 4 years.
He's been healthy.
When he came out in 16, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So he's 7 years in the league. The second year in the league, he got suspended for half of it. So really, you're the first year.
But he's been a top 5 running back maybe
3 of those years.
And for a 2nd round pick as a running back, or a 4th pick in the draft,
he's got to go.
That's how I don't know, because the only thing that I can compare him to is Saquon, because that's the only running back that's been drafted that high in the past 6 years that I can think of, and Saquon has only been, the only thing that's stopped him is being hurt. So
he's been injured a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just that's the thing as a Cowboys fan. And I think most of my Cowboy buddies will say the same thing. And I get so irritated with people who are not Cowboys fans. Well, you still got youth and talent, and you'll be all right. Like,
you won't. They do on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, and you're getting ready to lose your D coordinator.
That doesn't do much,
you're getting ready to lose Dan Quinn.
Sure, you will. Probably, definitely.
No, you're going to lose him.
Yeah.
And the guy you need to lose, you probably won't, which is nobody will hire him.
You still, it doesn't matter what coach you have. Micah Parsons is the best defensive player.
You still got to have somebody that knows how to put him in space.
Yeah, but I think you can find that.
Maybe.
I don't know. So
they hadn't found him before Dan Quinn.
What if now? Let's live in an alternate universe where what if Cooper Rush stayed the quarterback after those 4 games? What would happen? You think?
How many games did Dak win on his own in the season? Can you name one? Well, because Dak Prescott, they won this game.
Well, he's really good the first 4 weeks of the season. So one of those, maybe. I don't know.
Look, he led the league in interception, and he missed 5 games. Kyle.
Yeah,
He missed 5 games, and he led the league in interceptions.
No, I've made excuses for Dak, and I'm done with it, especially these last couple of weeks.
Look, Romo threw a lot of interceptions too, but look, he managed the game.
There's no consistency right now. That's the problem.
Not under pressure. Not under pressure. And
but
Romo threw interceptions under pressure too, but he managed the game. He got him in field goal. He got him within range. He can't get past the freaking 50-yard line.
Yeah, right. Or
can't get past the 20.
Right.
I need to round up now.
I'm with you. I get it.
He can't get a first down.
No.
He can't get a first down, Kyle.
But it also doesn't help that when you do have, a chance to win, that, let's put our running back as a center and see what happens.
Yeah, that was a real brilliant move.
Yeah, so and
then throw a 10-yard pass and he gets tackled.
No, there is something to be said about how inept Mike McCarthy is towards the end of a game right now. It's terrible. I don't understand. I have no idea what to do with the Cowboys, because right now CeeDee Lamb is showing that He's not as good as a Justin Jefferson or like he's kind of just mid when it comes to that wide receiver.
Pretty good though.
He's okay, like, but when it comes to wide receivers, like I think that they were hoping he'd be Dez Bryant, and I just don't think he's Dez Bryant.
He's not a possession guy like Dez was.
No,
but he is definitely a playmaker.
He can make plays.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just frustrating.
But he's your only wide receiver. Schultz is good.
Yeah.
So it's like
you got to get tight end.
You need two more wideouts. You need a running back. Again,
you need a quarterback.
And you need a quarterback.
Defensively, you're set. They got corners too.
Yeah, this is one of those that it's
talent.
like, what do we do type situations.
I don't know.
And you know who else is in the same spot? But they've had some success. The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo's got creativity.
Buffalo is in a spot though where they've been here 4 years in a row and they cannot do anything in the postseason or what they're supposed to do.
They're good, but they're not all that.
No, and I think like the whole Stephon Diggs situation is really interesting.
What's going on with that?
Well, I think he was pretty ticked off he wasn't getting the ball.
Yeah.
And he left the locker room early. And he's not happy right now. So it's going to be interesting with him. They were not bulletproof the last 10 games of the season, honestly.
Yeah.
If I had to guess right now, by the way, I think the best teams
are in the Super Bowl or in the championship.
Well, yeah, we're seeing like 100%.
You've seen the best two in the NFC for sure.
We've seen the best, and I think the Chiefs and the Bengals
probably,
are.
Yeah, I would probably not disagree with you.
I think we're seeing the best 4 teams.
I think you're probably right.
And the whole Damar Hamlin game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals won that game even then.
Oh, they would have won that game.
I think they would have.
They would have.
So, that said, I think this is awesome that we get to see the best teams. If I were to guess right now, though, I think the two best teams, I think I waver back and forth between Niners and Eagles, but I think it's the Niners and the Bengals. Probably most complete team is the Eagles. So, but I'm going right now. I don't know.
That's a tough one. I've kind of removed myself from it because when the Cowboys lost, I just don't care. But now you got my juices flowing a little. I still won't watch the game. I'll watch the Bengals and the Chiefs. They're the early game too, right?
No, Bengals Chiefs are
the late
game. Yeah, they're 5:30.
They switched it because initially it was going to be
maybe
the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Whoever if the Cowboys were in it was going to be late.
Of course.
But they switched it then. Are you sure? You sure that's the time frame?
Yeah.
Because the NFC Championship was the last game last week when they.
I'm just trying to think of that Eagles team.
I still ain't buying into the Eagles. I'm sorry. I can't.
They're the best all-around team.
I'm just not buying into it. And maybe just because I don't like Shiani or whatever his name is. I just don't like him.
He's a cheese ball.
I don't like
him.
He's annoying. He reminds me.
Sirianni?
Yeah, Sirianni.
I don't like Sirianni.
I don't like Sirianni. Do you like Sirianni?
Well, I think I like him for what he is, that he matches the culture of the city, just like Dan Campbell does.
Yeah.
Like Nick Sirianni is very like Philly, like people, the fans love him, like all that. So I like that part of him, but meh. I think that's kind of how I feel about him.
So let's play a little questionnaire here thing. What time have we got? We got some time. Worst thing to happen in NFL this year?
Well, besides Damar Hamlin, which you could actually argue, like, there's a lot of great things that came out of it. But
for him personally, not so great, but for a lot of reasons, really good thing. I feel, but yeah.
I think the worst thing that came out of the NFL this year, probably the Tua situation, honestly. We have to be talking about concussions again and all that, and then him getting 3 like those
concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so. I got to be honest. Like coaching this year was pretty tough. Because I am a football coach for our YouTube friends that haven't watched. I was so engrossed in football this year and all that. And then the very last game, we had a kid get hurt pretty good. And I was like just bitter against football because of it. Right. And I think we saw a lot of that this year that kind of just opened my eyes a little bit to the brutality. And I think Tua, watching that situation, watching DeMar on the field, those are the toughest things to watch. Now time has kind of healed that a little bit for me personally, of like I'm not so embittered by the sport itself, but and there had other things to do with that. But anyway, that's the hardest thing about football. In the NFL this year.
Okay, best thing.
I want to say probably the Jaguars. It's hard for me not to. Jaguars and Lions.
That's what I was going to say, Lions.
But thinking about where they were last year, the Jaguars with Urban Meyer and that whole situation was so bad. Yeah. And so like that was a pretty cool story to see their turnaround. Gosh, there's got to be. This
is personal on my end, but me, it's the Lions and keeping Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs.
Sure,
that was to me the best thing happening in NFL this year.
One of my other favorite things that's happened this year is on the Lions, Jamal Williams. Seeing his personality and people really falling in love with him this year because of Hard Knocks, but also he's like TikTok just. Yeah. Everybody loves him. He's a nerd, and that's where I'm trying to think if there's any was there any player stories that I was trying to think of that was Saquon comes to mind, like being hurt, and him just dominating. Christian McCaffrey going back home to the Niners is pretty cool, and maybe Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's an interesting
good story,
like where Mr. Relevant, where he's the last pick of the draft to this is where he is now and probably a Rookie of the Year candidate. Well, he's a Rookie of the Year finalist. So
is he?
Yeah, him and Kenneth Walker from the running back from the Seahawks, who will probably win. He was a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Those are good stories.
Coach of the Year?
Brian Dable from the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many Dan Campbell, the guy at Miami.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson. How about Doug Peterson? I mean,
what a likable man he is.
I mean, what he did with the Eagles, and I used to hate the Eagles, and I still don't really care for him. But when he was coaching the Eagles, I kind of okay.
He's a good dude. Guy. He's a good Christian
and he goes and does it again.
He just a
different team.
It's that Andy Reid coaching tree.
Yeah.
It just is.
They had to go back to that.
It's solid. I mean, a little bit, but but I say that, but it is he is so it's foolproof almost, with the exception of Matt Nagy.
So this isn't you, so don't take this is you talking about me?
Yeah.
Friend of the family is all I will say.
Yeah.
Because I'll get in way big trouble if somebody figures out who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Very annoying Chiefs fan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to the point, I'm almost pulling against them because I don't want to hear the annoying Chiefs fan after they win Sunday. And I will have to.
I don't know. Yes.
It's not you.
They do exist.
I know they exist because I've seen them for 40 years. But
well, I don't know about that.
I have seen them.
40 years, that's a long time.
Well, I've been around watching football longer than you're alive, buddy. So,
but again, places like Kansas City and Green Bay, it's what else have they got to do, but to, love our team. And
it's not even overly bearingly annoying. It's just the comments are you're not even a football fan. And you're annoying already.
See, that's different.
You're not even a fan.
That's different.
And you're annoying.
Like, yeah, it's not like that's different. Like that annoys me. Is like you just are aware that the Chiefs are doing good. You don't even watch the games or whatever.
Yeah,
that annoys me.
Hates football.
Yeah, just yeah. Not like me, my dad, and my grandpa who watch every game and talk about it, text about it, all of that. See, I'm like,
I watched.
But I think that there's some perspective there. Is like, that's why I don't like. That's a weird thing for me. Is because I think Chiefs fans know where we come from. If you've been a true Chiefs fan,
yeah.
Like if you've been a true Chiefs fan,
there's been heartache there.
There's been real heartache and real pain and just years and years of meh. Yeah. And so,
I'm with you.
And the fan base is there. Like, I don't know.
Kyle, anyway. if Dallas ever wins the Super Bowl again, you're going to see me cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm ever going to see it.
No, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I'm ever going to see it. I really honestly do. I said that 27 years ago. I'll say it.
Sure.
And I might text my buddy after the game. My prophecy lives another year.
I know. It stinks.
So, anyway, let's talk about Thunder real quick, and then let's get into our picks. So, tell us what's going on with the Thunder.
So, we are located in Oklahoma, obviously from my shirt. But, so the Thunder have been in a rebuilding process, as all of us know. But they have drafted very well the past couple of years. It's interesting sometimes because the way that teams tank and all of that, sometimes they tank and still can't draft. Sam Presti has just got
a ton of draft picks still
embarrassment of draft capital and all that. So it's embarrassment of riches. But like these players that he's picked and the one that he's traded for in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you're seeing them come to fruition just a little bit, and they have now won, like, I think 7 of the last 10, and were predicted to as a 3% chance to make the playoffs, and now they're sitting in a play-in spot for a chance to go to the playoffs, and are 1 game out of the 5 seed. So they've jumped up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they've jumped up to a 37% chance that they make the playoffs. And so it's a weird mix because I still was like, man, it'd be nice if they get a couple more holes. But this team, the best thing about this team, and I've watched every game since mid-December or so, the best thing about this team is that these guys work their butts off. They work their tails off. They're absolutely outworking their teams, and I think that makes them so likable. There's characters on this squad, and so like I don't want to miss a Thunder game right now because they're so fun. But anyway, they're playing the Hawks right now, so I have it on, just keeping an eye on it here and there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be probably in the All-Star game, and we haven't had an All-Star since we had Chris Paul a couple of years ago, but we've been without All-Stars, and now we have a top 5 player or a top 10 player in the league, which is cool, in Shai Gilgeous. So, great dude. Love this team. Should be fun to watch down the stretch. And if they don't make it this year to the playoffs, it's okay. So it's my buddy who's our basketball coach. We text thread all the games. He says this is a gravy season, is what he calls it.
Gravy season.
Anything that happens, if we make the playoffs, good.
Yeah. It's
gravy.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, we're ahead of schedule in how these players are supposed to develop. And so next year when we get Chet Holmgren, our third pick of the draft, like we should be a team that like expects to do well in the or to make the postseason and maybe win a series, which would be so cool and great for our city, because it really does. It's like we're near Oklahoma City, and it matters. I don't think people realize enough. Like
you gotta win.
Like it matters how good the Thunder are doing because it gets seats in the building, and our economy is so much better when the Thunder do well.
Don't have
and
that
so
much.
It's not just like a team. It's like we need the Thunder to produce.
Do well.
So and really in a rebuilding process, we see people that this is teams that this last a decade almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're not seeing that, which is good. We're technically at year 3, which is we're ahead of schedule, so that's good.
Yeah, I've been assigned to. I'm gonna get. Actually, I've never been to a Thunder game because I don't know, just
haven't done it.
Hadn't done it, so I'm gonna go in April, I believe. But
I went to one. I went to a preseason game. I went to a regular season game, and then I might try to go to a couple. By the end of the year, if they make the playoffs, I'm going no matter what. If they make the play-in game, I want to be there. So
cool. Okay, let's go into our picks. So last week, we did all the playoff games plus the over and unders, the spread, and which just so those who are joining the show for the first time, we have usually 3 people on our podcast here, our regulars, myself, Coach, and Casey, and the Gunslinger, and we've been keeping a competition going there all year, and it's kind of going back and forth. Well, we're down to about the last 2 weeks, really, and it could still change. Last week, myself and the Gunslinger were 3-5. We missed the spread on the Chiefs game, or I did. Missed the spread on the Giants game, and I missed the over on the Buffalo-Cincinnati game, and I missed the spread on the Cowboys game, which kind of makes me mad, but whatever. I was 3-5. You were 4-4. You missed the spread on the Jaguars, the over on the.
Wait. I don't think I did miss it because it's 8.5, and the Chief. What was the spread last week for the Chiefs Jaguars?
8.5.
And
you took plus the points. Well, then I didn't miss either.
No, you didn't because they won by 7.
That's right.
Yep. So we both got that game.
Oh, that's right. We did. So 4-4. We're both 4-4. Okay, you're 5-3.
Sweet.
So yeah, actually. Okay, and then missed the over under on Philly.
Okay.
No. Why am I? Bengals. Why? Man, I can't even read my own writing.
Uh-oh.
Did the Bengals play?
The Bills?
And what was the spread on that game?
It should have been
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Missed the over. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you missed the over and the under on the Eagles game because you picked the Eagles minus the 7.5.
That's right.
And then you picked the Cowboys plus the 3.5, but you got the under.
Okay.
5-3.
Okay.
And then Gunslinger missed he actually got the Chiefs game. No, he took the Chiefs. And he took the over.
Mm-hmm.
So he missed both of those. He got both of them on the Philly game. He missed the Buffalo game and the over, and he missed the Cowboys game, and he got the under. So he was 3-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
Okay.
He'll probably feud that, but
sure,
because I never get his right for some reason. Okay, this week the Bengals are a 1-point dog to the Chiefs, and the over and under is 47.5. And the 49ers are a 2.5 point. No. The Bengals are 1-point favorite, correct?
Yes, they are
1-point favorite.
Yep.
And the over and under is 47.5, and the 49ers are 2.5 point dog with 46 over and under. I'll just hit you. I'll get both of them right now. I'll knock them out.
Okay.
So Cincinnati, Kansas City. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs plus the 1, and I'm going to go with the over on that game. And then I'm going to go with the 49ers plus the 2.5, and I'm going to go with the over on both those games.
Okay, I'm gonna go Chiefs, and I do think they're gonna win.
I do too.
Because there's so much smack talk.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the Chiefs are gonna win, and I don't think the Bengals are invincible.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Chiefs. And I'm gonna take the over.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take the Eagles, and I'm gonna take the under. I think it's gonna be a tight game.
Okay. And we didn't hear nothing from...
But we will. We will get his picks for
get him in. So, overall, for the season, I don't think I said this earlier, so you are 117-79. You are trailing... See, that's actually not correct. You are 118-78. So you're 3 games behind.
Oh, we're so close.
Yep. And 122-75, and then I'm way out. I'm 9 games back, I think, something like that.
But it's not over because we also have the Super Bowl,
and the prop picks,
the prop bets. Yeah. So
it's not over till it's over.
It isn't.
I think it changed last year. So, I can, if you want to dig up a devotion, can you do that?
Sure. Yeah. I can.
So join us for the first time. As I said earlier, a little bit of faith, a little bit of athletics. One of the things that we try to do before we go off air is just spread some encouraging words and hope for people. We are believers in the gospel, and we just want people to hear what we see as the truth. And before we close out each show, we do a devotion, and it's very brief. It's about 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most. And we did you lose something? Well, that's not good. Found it. Good. We can do a devotion. While you're doing that, also tell folks that, Faithletic the podcast, we've been around about 3 years. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock live. Since you're a subscriber to YouTube, or you have YouTube on your phone or your cellular device or your iPad or your PC, you can go to Faithletic the podcast, and you can see some of our previous episodes. We have a wealth of guests that have been on our show through the years. One was an incredible guest we had last week that's been with us numerous times through the years, Mr. Jim Davis. He's the founder and executive director of the Good Athlete Project. He goes along all over the world helping high school kids understand better how to treat their bodies with science, how to eat better, how to rest better, how to treat their bodies better, and help them become better teammates through each other. And then we've had Kobe Daniels on their show, radio personality here. We've had Dave Garrett, former play-by-play man for the Dallas Cowboys, and also does stuff for the Thunder. Also works has worked for the Texas Longhorns, and has done a bunch of different things across the United States as a broadcaster. We've had Brian Mills, local pastor here in Oklahoma City, one of the best known young pastors in the United States. We just had a wealth of. We had Tyson. I'm going blank. Tyson Myers, police officer out of Dallas, and also one of the top-ranked drug-free lifters in the world, powerlifters in the world. We've had some of our kids that are with Team Black Mentorship, which sponsors this show. It's a nonprofit organization that helps kids get stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm the president of that organization. I helped found it, and we just work with kids, and it's one of the things that we do. In fact, just kind of fill people in, we got our last guy qualified last Saturday.
Woo!
So we have 4 kids officially qualified for the High School National Powerlifting Championships, sponsored by the United States USA Powerlifting Organization. The Nationals will be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal for these kids.
So cool.
We have Austin and Grant and Alicia and Ethan all now officially qualified.
So cool.
Yep, and we have 3 of the 4 registered. So we have one more. We'll get Grant registered because he just got qualified.
Nice, very cool.
Yep, we're excited, and now we're just trying to get funded. So travel expenses have gone up since last year. We took Austin; it wasn't near as expensive as it is this year. We relied on some private donations because we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And if you are interested in doing that, you can reach out to me on my Facebook page, Dan Black. You can also reach out to Coach Dan Black on Instagram, or I think it's Coach Dan Black on Twitter as well. So anyway, are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I'm going to read this devotional that comes from, it says, Made for This, a study on identity. And this is, it says, Why We're Here. Is the name of it. So it says, everyone who is called by my name, who I have created for my glory, I have formed him. Yes, I have made him. And that verse comes from Isaiah 43:7. This is, why am I here? No doubt we've all asked this at some point. It's by God's design and purpose, will, that we would wonder, ponder, and question as we pause and look at the world that surrounds us. The incalculable stars in the sky, the majestic mountains on the horizon, the ceaseless sea that rolls in and out. The undeniable order of creation gets us to ask if there's a meaning for us in the midst of everything. Some people chase this question as a dog chases his tail until their dying day. They never arrive at the reason for their own existence, but this doesn't have to happen for any of us, because if we look to what God tells us in his word, we can clearly see why we're here. God himself tells us here through the prophet Isaiah that we've been created by him for his glory, to glorify the God who created us. Our lives aren't meaningless. Our purpose is to turn from ourselves and the self-centered impulses that can rule our thoughts and actions on a constant basis and yield our entire beings to bring glory to God. In other words, it's not about us, it's about him. As the moon reflects the brilliance of the sun, our lives are to reflect the radiance of God who is and what he has done. From the moment we wake up, we're to glorify God. On our commute to work, we're to glorify God. In the break room when the gossip mill starts to churn, we're to glorify God. When it comes to our work ethic, we're to glorify God. When we get recognized for going above and beyond our job performance, we're to glorify God. We are here to glorify God, period. We do this by pointing others away from ourselves and towards his goodness. You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things in your will. They exist and were created. And that's from Revelation 4:11. So that's what we're supposed to do. All the glory to him.
That's good stuff.
Yep. So we made it another week, and we will be here next Wednesday.
We will.
Hopefully with a
full house.
And hopefully with a Chiefs Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah. Who did you say you're going straight? Who you think's going to win on the NFC?
I'm going.
The Eagles are
I'm
win?
going with the Eagles.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Eagles.
I hope not. I mean, just because I don't like them.
Sure, fair enough.
But I'll get over it. If they win, then.
How about a Travis Kelce versus Jason Kelce Super Bowl? That might be fun.
I guess you could do something like that.
Sure.
All right, I'm Coach, and I'm with
Casey,
and we are Faithletic, the podcast. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Remember that if you can't be nice, if you can't find nice people, be one.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that.
Yep.
Always be nice.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say them. That's what Mama said.
Just be nice.
That's what Mama always says.
Just be kind. Be kind to others. Thank you. Have a good night.
Peace out.